I'm with Reverend Canon Aron Mwesigye, the Director, Religious Affairs. Reverend, we've had so many acts of immorality in the society. Where do you think is the gap? What could be the problem? This is a full directorate that handles such acts. Where could be the problem? What should be done to ensure morality in the society?
Thank you so much, Serena, for this wonderful show and for this wonderful engagement, because I think that shows you are a concerned citizen in this country. I would begin by giving you a background. First of all, government realized that there was lack of morals, what I may call moral breakdown as far as society is concerned. And that is why it was able to come up with the directorate responsible for rebuilding ethics and integrity. And when you are rebuilding ethics and integrity, you are rebuilding the moral infrastructure of a country. Now, this docket has been in place for some time, headed by the minister, the permanent secretary, and some of us who are heading departments. I head religious affairs. So your question is that why is it that the docket has been in place yet morals have worsened in this country? The reason is that when God created man, he created him male and female, and he created him and her in his own image. Which means if you are created in the image of God, you are supposed to do what is divine to please the glory of God. But at the fall of man, if you know the Bible very well, the image of God in man was distorted. It became upside down. So man remained standing and looking like God physically, but spiritually the image became distorted and it became smaller than the object, if you have done your physics very well. Reason? Because of evil, because of sin. Now that is why even when Jesus Christ was teaching his disciples at a later time, when he came on earth and was born like man, to save man of course, he said, when you are praying, say, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, blah, blah, blah. But he reaches the point when he says, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now imagine, how can God lead someone into temptation? See, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Lead us not into temptation. This was Jesus praying, and he was teaching his disciples. Which means he knew that surrounded by the world and the environment that man lived in, he had to be tempted by the devil. Because the hand of the Lord is not too short to save, which means it's there to save man. But also the hand of the devil is not too short to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But at the same time, environment that is surrounded by the devil. So the devil is not asleep, he's awake. And therefore, your lamentation is timely. What can we do? As a country, that is why government wake up and put in place that directorate. But also, the country was able to put in place churches and religious organizations at the time when the world needed them. So our God that we serve is a God of hope, is a God of a future, because he says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans for a better future. Ethical values policy, which was signed by His Excellency the President in 2013. So it puts in place 10 ethical values that we should live as a country: protection of environment, honesty, transparency, integrity, and so many others. So what can we do as a country is to uphold those national ethical values. One is to preach the gospel by the religious leaders and leave it. Because even religious leaders themselves, they preach, but they don't live the message. So it is do as I say, but not as I do. We have not taken a blind eye. We have not taken a blind eye on this as a country. No. There's leadership, both secular and sacred, that is at the forefront of defeating evil.
I know, I understand. This country is best known for laws, best known for policies, best known for documentation, but things are not so well, Reverend. This office has authority.
Yes.
It has authority. It's just a call or a letter to instruct some acts to be out, or for some individuals to be arrested.
This very office came up with the Anti-Pornography Act, if you are not aware,
I am.
of 2014. The bill went in Parliament, it was debated, and it translated into an act of Parliament. After that, the same Minister of Ethics and Integrity was able to identify key figures in society who were able to be members of the Anti-Pornography Committee. And the President inaugurated that committee officially, and it started its work. Between me and you, since that committee was put in place, there have been arrests, there have been reprimands as far as those who practice pornography are concerned. Like the people you're talking who are musicians on stage. Music is life. Music is supposed to empower communities. Music is supposed to educate community, because through music, if you compose the song, sometimes it helps to empower people with HIV/AIDS. It will empower people who hate others so that they stop hatred. So the composition is very necessary. So you are supposed to promote values in society through music. You promote empowerment through music. You are supposed to be exemplary. But people on stage, they go when they are naked, and some of the music that they actually sing, they contain a lot of immoral. The messages are very immoral and satanic.
Yes.
Yes.
Even amongst churches, we have seen some weird kind of dance on stage. People dance to Jesus, but as if they are dancing to the other, to the secular world.
Even they dance when they are naked. I mean, they dance. I am in agreement with what you're saying. Some of them even dance in church when they are naked. You know what I'm saying? You are very much, you're 100% right. So how are we in other words, your question is, why haven't we, as the directorate, stopped that? We have tried to stop it, my daughter and my sister. We have tried. But you see, as much as you said that Uganda is very famous at making laws and policies, but when it comes to you are very much right. We have good legislators, but we have poor enforcers. Actually, enforcement is where the problem is. Enforcement is where the problem is in this country.
Now, what should we do?
What we should do, therefore, is that we should empower enforcers. First of all, identify people who should enforce the rules, the laws, and the policies that are meant to create sanity in society, that are meant to defeat immorality, to defeat pornography, to defeat many acts and many vices that actually distort the common good in society. The Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Some people who are church leaders don't have that fear of the Lord. In fact, if you have the fear of the Lord, you'll be blessed. The Bible says that those who have the fear of the Lord, their grandchildren will be blessed. They will be mighty in the land. So we even deny our children to be blessed because we don't have that fear. That's one thing. But also for the other actors, other stakeholders like media who are supposed to inform, I want to plead with the media people that when we are informing through our social media, through our social platform media, we should actually give correct information, not biased information, not information that provokes people to act negatively or people to fight one another. But also for the government, as much as I work for government, we have better laws and better policies. We have better legislators in this country, but we lack enforcers. Why? Because the enforcers are not empowered. And resources, the resource envelope is very, very skewed as far as empowering by empowering them at family level, so that by the time they go to university, they will shun evil, they will shun pornography, they will shun immorality. It is easier to build strong children than to repair. Government is very busy repairing broken men through the IGG, through DPP, through Auditor General, repairing them, spending a lot of money, spending a lot of time, spending a lot of resources. If we could now channel these resources to rebuild, to building strong children, right from family to nursery to the primary, so that by the time the child goes to university and becomes an MP, he is corruption free.
Rightly said, as the Reverend Canon Aron Mwesigye said, this begins with foundation. If at all we build good families with good foundation, it all begins from foundation. Even the government still, because the government is family. So as the Reverend said, let's invest in building strong foundation. I have nothing else to add on. Thank you so much, Reverend, for the show. Thank you so. Bless you too. I've had Reverend Aron Mwesigye, and yes, you who is watching, you can rightly pick out good information and leave the rest if you think that it is good for you. I remain Naguja Serena and NSTV. Thank you so much, Reverend.